What's going on? Hope you guys are doing well. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I make videos mainly suited for amateurs, amateur player, club players. I feel like there's a lot of great areas on YouTube trying to improve as a club player. I feel like it can be very hard trying to improve as a club player. And basically what I'm trying to do is trying to make a YouTube channel what is mainly focused on improving club players from club player to intermediate. I wouldn't call myself an intermediate player, call myself a club player, but I'm trying to get to that intermediate, then advanced, then mastery. So let's get into the game. And this is part of the Painful Loss series. Is a series where I go over losses that were very painful at the time. After the game, I was very mad. This it's not too long, but it has some instructive stuff. So e4, that's what I normally play. c5, knight f3, and knight c6. So the old Sicilian, and I always play bishop e5. I don't really go knight f3 anymore. I normally go d4 on move 2, or I go knight g to e2. From there to there. Okay, so I go bishop e5, very common. And here I think there's lots of moves. D6, e5 here. There's lots of moves here. And one of the most common is g6, and our opponent here played it. Now I castled, and I believe castling is it's a fairly common move. Sometimes you go rook e1 and you bring this bishop back here and fianchetto it. So I think that's why castling is. That's why lots of people castle early, just to keep that option open. Now bishop g7. I think this is all kind of theory. Let's check. Yeah, this is just theory. And now c4. Now this move, I don't actually believe is great at all. I'll tell you some reasons why. First of all, it creates a bit of a weak spot on d4. And also, this bishop is on this diagonal. So as the game goes further and progresses, this bishop is just complementing this bishop pretty much. It's on this long diagonal, and c4 has just completely opened up a nice line of fire. I don't think it's a terrible. I mean, I don't think it's like completely losing, but I don't think it's great as well. I just don't think it's a good move. Okay. And he goes a6. I take. Okay, I take, and he goes b takes. I'm not sure which pawn take was better. I would maybe go d takes myself. Let's see what the engine says. It just says d takes c6. Okay. Okay, I would play d takes c6 just to kind of open up this queen's control of the file. So I go knight c3. And sorry, instead of playing c4 here, I just forgot to say, normally you can go c3, maybe rook e1, maybe bring this bishop back. So yeah, I think c3 is what I'll play now. Sometimes I think people go knight c3. Yeah, so the idea with c3, I'm pretty sure it's to play d4. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm normally play c3, so c4, a6, we take, b takes, and knight c3. And so knight c3. And here he plays e6. Now, this game revolves around one kind of common theme. Now, e6. Now, I'm just looking at this position, and this square is quite weak. This is quite weak. He has these doubled pawns. It's also isolated. Now, I'd probably rather play this as white, but in the game, I didn't really take advantage of any of these, so it's probably worth noting down some of these weak squares. Maybe you can go d6, but also so maybe if there's a way to transfer this knight. So there's a very kind of decent move. If I remember correctly, and I can check it, but try and pause the video because there is a move white can play here. It's quite good, I believe. And like always, I'll try and advise you to pause the video, try and help you improve. So I'll give you like, a couple seconds to pause the video and think of a decent move here. Okay, so I believe the move, what was pretty decent for white here was actually e5. Now, two ideas, yeah. So this is e5, and so my idea behind e5. Also, now you free up this e4 square for your knight, and now you can maybe hop into this square. But I believe e5 is a good move, and let's see what. So he says d6 here. Now d6 is the best move. I think it's to stop this knight from coming here. Uh, idea being you just take. But that also gives these pawns become doubled and they come isolated. So e5 already forces him to play some not great moves at all. So yeah, try and note this down, the idea behind coming into this square, I believe. Now let's look at f6, because I'm just curious if f6 is actually does anything. So d4 now, wow. Yeah, d4. That's pretty cool. So I think idea being taken, you just take back, and look how weak the square is. So yeah, this is an idea how you could exploit these weak squares. I believe if he takes, you would probably go queen takes here. Or no, knight e4. Wow, and yeah, and you go into this square. So guys, note this down. That this square, I've seen this before. This square can become very weak in the Nej Rossolimo. This guy can become very weak, and now he can't castle. The knight comes here. Alright, so that was the move, and let's keep going. So I played d3, so, a revolving theme in these videos is that, I could have had a lot of better positions if I played different moves. So I believe d3. I believe my idea was to exchange off this light squared bishop and put all my pawns on light squares complementing this dark squared bishop. I believe that's what I was probably thinking back then, although I did actually miss a lot of good stuff in this position. So I played d3. Yet again, I could have played e5. Now, e5 is very strong in this position, I believe. So I played 97, and this is almost like a blunder according to the engine because of how strong e5 is. I'll show you guys again. e5 was his best move. Idea coming in here, and also with 97, now we can't even like swap it with like bishop f8 to come to this. And also when we go 94, we're also attacking this pawn. And if we play d6, we just take. So his best move here would be d6. And ed6, queen takes, and yet again he has these double isolated pawns. And we can just develop normally. So it's definitely better. So if you play the Rossolimo, these are just some ideas that you might miss. So bishop e3. I think my idea was just to attack this pawn. I'm trying to get out of this habit, but recommend you guys to get out of this habit. Just because you see a way to like attack a pawn sometimes with tempi, that's very kind of principled, but sometimes you should try and just play strategically instead of always attacking pieces. And obviously e5 was quite good there. So plays d6. Now d6. So I played queen d2 here was to try and trade off this bishop. I think it's quite a well-known idea. I think e5 was also good here. The reason my let's just look at this, guys. So e5. So obviously if bishop takes, that's definitely bad. Because now these squares are very weak and this bishop infiltrates. So if your opponent ever trades off this dark squared bishop for and you take it with like a knight, is almost like strategically lost because of how dominant your bishop can be. So he played e5, and I believe what would he do here? So if he takes, we just take here, and this pawn, yeah, guys, very weak, weak, weak. And if he takes, these are doubled. It's not great. So e5 it's almost like splitting the structure here. So e5, let's see, and if he goes d5, we just take, I believe, and play bishop takes c5, winning a pawn. So guys, yeah, so queen d2, I missed e5 there, and so he played castles. Now, I played rook e1. It doesn't really do too much. Yeah, again, let's see if we can still play e5 in this position. Yes, we can still play e5, idea winning this pawn. This pawn's doubled, isolated, isolated. So this is a concept of splitting the structure pretty much, e5. Okay, but I played rook e1. My idea behind rook e1 was no idea. I'm trying to avoid playing moves now these days, but I have no idea what do anything. I'm trying to make my moves become more purposeful. So I played f5, I believe, is quite a bad move. I didn't believe it at the time because my opponent was higher rated than me at this time. So like, you know, I didn't really question any of his moves. He was quite high rated than me. So e5 here is is almost lights out. This. I try to make this series all about strategy. I feel like it's quite a grey area, but with e5 here, it completely splits this structure. Now this pawn is a backwards pawn, and just look at this position. You can literally pause it, just admire it. If he pushes, we can just take, and yeah, these just look at it. It's not good. But anyway, here I played bishop here, and he played f5, and I went on to lose the game because he got locked down the king side, attacked me on the king side, and lost terribly. But this video really revolved around the key idea of playing that e5 pawn. So that e5 pawn breaks, splitting the structure, weakening this square. And if you guys play the Rossolimo, hopefully you got some value out of this. If you did get any value out of the video, please leave a like. I will be making lots of more videos, so if you enjoy this one and you don't want to miss any others, subscribe so you will see them. Hopefully you guys have learned something today. If you have, let me know in the comments. Also, I've got another series where I analyze subscriber games, made one video on that. So if you'd like your game to be featured, just message me, put it in the description. But anyway, guys, see ya.